Alrighty, hello everybody. I'm Rod, and that's Matt. How you doing, Matt?
Hey Rod, good thanks. How you going, mate?
Yeah, good, good. Yeah, good.
So
So this,
this is the first episode of the M&R podcast. So yeah, we're just two blokes in Australia, just going to talk about some random shit on here, and so yeah,
well, guess we'll try to keep it like somewhat relative to, you know, current state of things.
we'll try to.
Yeah, try to. So what we were saying, I think we were discussing prior to this the ever increasing number of sugar babies.
Seems to be a
Yeah,
common trait among young women these days.
it certainly does. More and more every day. Yeah, sites like Seeking Arrangement, things like that. I'm sure there's plenty of others, but that seems to be the premier one.
Well, I think it's one that we've sort of gone through and
Yeah,
not so much tested myself, but I believe you've had some experience with it.
a little bit, yeah. Yep. And,
What do they call you, a salt daddy or something?
yeah. Yes. A salt daddy, for anyone who doesn't know, is the opposite of a sugar daddy. It's where you pretend to have enormous wealth and assets for the sake of sleeping with young women and paying out nothing.
So they're under the impression that you are rich. And
They are under that impression, but the
Right.
kicker is, they're not legal prostitutes, so what are they going to do, sue me?
Yeah.
You know? But I mean,
So was it just like an experience type thing, or
yeah, definitely. It's not something that I do on a regular basis. I mean, kind of makes you feel a little bit hollow after a little while. But anyone who's wasting their fucking time in the cesspool that is modern day dating, I highly recommend, if you're only looking to get laid, it's worth the $120 a month you pay in subscription, because there's literally no limit. As long as you put in the work and put yourself out there, you'll get some life 18, 19-year-olds that will do just about anything for a few bucks. So, that being said, I think the world has a serious fucking problem, and I probably shouldn't be adding fuel to the fire. But
oh, it's a good test.
it's an arms race. It's not dating anymore. It's an arms race.
Hmm.
That's what I think about it. But
What, like with Tinder and like?
oh yeah. With Tinder and stuff like that. I mean, what you get on Tinder, you waste your time swiping for like what 20, 25 minutes until you're out of likes. Probably on these chicks that
Likes? What?
Yeah.
I thought it was like
swipes.
where you just
Oh
swipe.
yeah, there's a limit to how many per day though. Unless you pay.
Okay.
And as of like last year, the price for males, only males over the age of 20 up, has gone up like quite significantly, from about $14 a month to about $39. And you know how Tinder is. I mean, you find yourself swiping on chicks you probably wouldn't even really want to fuck, but you get horny, whatever, and they have all the power. They probably have like 600 other fucking dudes. You ever gone through? I'm not sure about you, but have you ever gone through a female's Tinder, like even just an average woman?
What, as in like? What do you mean go through
Her
a
phone,
Tinder?
gone through her phone, probably with consent, but it's fucking ridiculous.
Ah.
It's absolutely ridiculous. You can find the chick who's a 4 out of 10, maybe even a 5, and every single guy, just about, except for Chad Thundercock, the 1%, they'll swipe right on her.
Mm.
So you have to consider the fact, like the economics of the factor, that whenever you talk to some silly girl online, you're probably competing with like 500-600 other dudes, and she has her cocks lined up for the next 2 weeks, and even if you do go out with her, I mean, what, you're going to be expected to pay for something? You're going to take her to dinner, you're going to fucking do whatever else. You're probably going to waste $100 or $200, and if you're lucky, you might get your dick sucked. So
Is that what you've experienced?
oh yeah, that's what I've experienced. I think
So
a lot of people
they're
experience
expecting
that.
you to pay for everything.
Oh, absolutely. They preach about their fucking harpy feminist bullshit. Oh, we want to be equal. We want to be equal. But if you don't hold the door open for them, you don't pay for their.
I don't know. I've met some like women that want to be more equal. Like they want.
That like I don't mean in an offensive way, but you've got a few years on me too. I think you've like hit that window where a lot of these women have kind of jumped off the cock carousel,
Yeah.
and now they're into their 30s and they're kind of like maybe looking to settle down or something. But at the same time, I mean, like those chicks that you go out with, you reckon a lot of them are used up?
Oh, Well, it's hard to know.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
mean, I don't know the full story about them. I mean, sometimes you only date them for
yeah,
a few
yeah,
weeks,
true.
and then something else comes up, or it just doesn't work out, or
Mm-hmm.
there's a disconnect with you know chatting online is a lot different to chatting in person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's interesting. That I mean, someone can actually be exciting online. You could actually hate them in person, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know,
Yeah, well, I
but
mean, if you say you start chatting with someone, right, and
mm,
it's, whatever gender that you like, whether it
hmm
be male, female, transsexual, whatever, Bruce Jenner, um, before you even see their photo, if you start having a good conversation with them, like you
mm,
automatically like them. Like there's
hmm
no sort of like, you know, there's no picture in front of you to say whether you talk to them or not. You just kind of start chatting with them like back in the old days. Excuse me, fucking cold. When you use IRC, I don't know if you ever used IRC or whatever,
I
but
know what it is. I never used it, but I know what it is.
IRC or like I guess MSN, that's
Hmm
brutal. And
hmm
no photos or anything, but you talk to people and then you kind of have good chats.
Well,
And
I'll say so. That's like I've noticed, like shit. Like I'm only 30, but I've noticed, like in the last 15 years, like the whole platform of online dating has changed significantly. Like an average dude, like just typical kind of like Joe Nobody, used to be able to do pretty well online. I mean, just by being himself. But these days, Joe Nobody is kind of becoming an incel. You know, yeah. It's just, I think, like complete
what's a Joe
normalization.
Nobody?
Oh, you know what I mean. Just typical guy. Um, you know, normal looks. Average. No real assets. Nothing exemplary about him. At least not from the outside. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Would you say
So,
Joe Nobody has money or no money?
I would say Joe Nobody probably just gets by.
So he could afford a woman, just.
Probably just. Yeah. Probably just. I
We'll
think.
probably get marked as sexist pigs when
Oh,
when there's
undoubtedly,
some females that
undoubtedly.
listen to this.
But you know what? I've
Maybe some
started to
white knights will
realise
chime in
that.
too.
Oh, I hope so. Fucking.
Some white knight neckbeards
Mm.
with their fedoras on.
That brings me to like another relative topic. I think we were talking about it. Twitch streamers.
Oh
These
yeah,
fucking whores without a modicum of talent, playing some games with their fucking tits pushed up, whatever.
yeah.
You know, no exceptional gaming skills, so like you really have no interest in watching what they're doing. But these thirsty fucking bastards, should call them thirsty mercs, I don't know why. But they just sit there. They throw money for what? For what? They don't get anything out of it. They're like giving away their paycheck to some fucking, average. Like most of these chicks are average. You wipe away 90% of their beauty with a Kleenex,
Yeah.
you know? And it's like, if they were throwing that kind of money at a girl in real life, they'd be getting their cock sucked.
Mm.
But instead, they're living in their fucking room, throwing money at these Twitch chicks, and it's like, oh, well, could you please write my name on your arm? And it's like, well, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I
these
think
guys
we're,
are
I
half
think,
the problem though because they
mm,
actually
mm,
pay
mm.
money.
Yeah, no, no,
They pay a subscription fee to
undoubtedly, you
get
can't.
some emoticons,
Yeah.
and and it's sad because I mean I watch Twitch as well, but I mean I think I may have donated once, but it was good content what I was watching and whatnot. Anyway, like you're watching it and then someone puts in a donation of some
Mm.
magnitude
Mhm.
and it's like literally like a 2 second oh thank you so much onto the
Mm.
next thing and it's just like completely forgotten about and it's like
It's
two
like,
seconds of fame for this
yeah,
person.
that's what I don't get, man. It's like going to a strip club, giving her money for no reason. She doesn't even douse your dick.
Yeah.
It's like, well, fuck, because that's what I'm saying. Like, I've seen dudes give like, 80, 90, $100. It's like, if you're that
I've seen
fucking
more than
horny.
that.
Oh yeah,
I've
yeah,
seen
I've no doubt.
thousands of dollars donated, but not to a like female streamer, but to definitely to
Yeah,
a male
I
streamer.
don't get it. Like, if you're that fucking horny, you can go to a brothel for that price.
Probably
Or like I said, you
high
could
end
go out
prostitute,
to, mm,
high end prostitute for that money.
yeah, you could go out to a club. You spend $50, $60 on a chick's drinks. if you're like a boring cunt, you can probably get her sloshed enough to make her think you're interesting. Um, I don't know, but I'm not sure.
I
I'm really
agree.
not sure. I think like we've got a generation of virgins on our hand, like the children of these baby boomers, so to speak. Big problems there.
Mm.
Um, I don't really know what the solution is. I'm not sure if there is one. Like,
Well,
unless the internet just like stopped fucking working.
virtual
But
reality, mate.
mm,
Virtual reality, relationships, and life.
yeah,
I think that's the way forward. But I don't know. Like even with like the, I mean, I'm for like women's equality and whatnot, but I think it's gone a bit
uh-huh.
too far the other way at the moment.
Oh, definitely. I mean,
Like there's so many
it's
things at the moment that it's like, or I read on
mm,
LinkedIn or on Facebook, or it's mainly
yeah,
around corporate area where people are like, oh, let's start a women's, you know,
yeah, yeah.
empowering women so they can get management roles, they can get, better career choices and
And then
stuff
it's
like that.
like,
But it's like,
and then you come across the odd woman who's actually achieved that on her own.
yeah,
In the same fashion that any other fucking guy did. What these women actually want is for the bar to be lowered to the point where they require minimal effort to
mm,
get to the same point of power as some dude who's probably fucking put in extra shifts for the last 3 years.
mm.
You know,
So,
and that's the thing. I mean, it just goes back to nature. Women weren't ever meant to do this shit. They were meant to be, wives and mothers, and have maternal instincts and raise fucking children. I mean, like realistically, that's the way the majority
yeah,
of the
but
world
some
works.
women don't want that though, which I can
Hmm.
understand. Like some women
I,
want to have a career.
I get that too, but if you want the same, fucking career and prospects as the male that you're fighting against, then do the same fucking
Yeah, but
work.
a lot of the women I speak to about these issues, they're in agreement. Like they're not
Yeah,
ones that
yeah.
are just taking the shortcuts and stuff. I mean, some of these women have, like you said, they've worked hard and they've
Yeah,
put in the long hours.
yeah, but then their position reflects that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
They're not the ones complaining.
Yeah,
So
of course. But
it's
I mean,
like,
I don't see anything for saying like empowering men. Like and I'm not talking about.
because there's not.
Yeah, but it's not about empowering the older guys. It's about empowering the younger guys. I mean,
Oh man,
not
these
my
these younger
generation, but
guys
the
have,
generation below me, because they come to this into the
yeah.
corporate world or whatever, and they're like, oh, well, am
Oh,
I not supposed to achieve anything?
they're too scared to do anything too.
Yeah,
I mean, like you stare at a chick's ass and she catches you. She like goes and files a fucking sexual assault claim with your boss, and then without a shred of proof, you probably get fired.
yeah. But I
Uh,
mean, to be honest though, like that doesn't really happen in too much in corporate. Like you don't do it to the point
yeah,
where she
yeah,
actually knows you're doing it, or
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
not like you do it on purpose. I mean, I typically haven't seen that type of thing, nor do I do it in at work, because obviously
Hmm.
it's not worth the
Hmm.
hassle, and it's just you don't. I don't know, you just don't do it.
Hmm. Well, what I find amazing though is these harpies, they rave like this is a global problem, but
Harpies.
yeah, science shows and fucking psychology shows that women in a lot of other countries, they're actually quite happy with their positions in life. You know what I mean?
In what
And
countries?
oh, many other countries. I
Right.
mean, there are many other countries with
Like what?
problems bigger than us, much bigger. Oh, for Southeast Asian women, for instance, right? When they break into like the corporate sector or anything else or any kind of job, they actually understand that they have to put in the same amount of effort as a male, or they have the alternative of sleeping their way to the top.
Mm.
And they don't have a problem with it. Many women. You ever notice attractive women when they get hit on or someone pervs at them, they're happy about it. The only ones that complain and talk about all this like rape in the workplace shit are these haggard fucking 300-pound dogs that you wouldn't actually touch. So you expect me to believe that people are like wolf
Where
whistling
do
at
you
them
get
and
that
shit?
info from, though?
Oh, it's true. Like I've experienced them personally. Whenever you see some like
Yeah, but
fucking
I
monster,
can relate to like say some women on Facebook. They
mm,
come out and they defend something, or they
yeah, yeah,
defend
yeah.
women's rights and whatnot.
Like,
And then you look at
like,
their profile and they're like some
yeah.
Sasquatch.
Like I think to myself, right? When these women complain about these things, those sorts of women, the Sasquatches, I think to myself, there is no fucking way in a million years that any dude has actually wolf whistled at her unless it's a joke.
So
And what I think it
so
is,
hard.
I actually think it stems down to envy. it stems down to the envy of their like genetic female superiors. You know, the
Yeah,
chicks
but
who aren't fucking
let's be
pigs.
honest though, like when
Yeah.
like you would go back to the Joe Nobodies before, the only
Hmm.
girl, like if it's a good looking girl, they only like good
Mm.
looking guys doing it to them.
Oh, definitely, definitely. You know,
It's just
unless you
like
got
if a
like
good
fat
looking girl
cash,
did it to you, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's cool. But then if like
of
some
course.
ugly girl did it to you, you'd be like, oh fuck off, I don't want to, do that. So
Yeah,
it
but
goes
at the
both
same
ways.
at the same time, I still wouldn't say she sexually assaulted me.
No,
You
but
know
I
what
mean,
I
how
mean?
many cases of that has happened though?
I don't know. I guess it
How
depends if you
like
believe all
just
American media and all that bullshit.
yeah, but in Australia, how much has it happened? I don't know how much that's happened. To be honest, like
I don't know.
I think
You probably have to
women
go to
here are
some like
maybe a bit like I think people in general and like women are a little bit more laid back, especially in Sydney anyway. I don't know.
I do think so. Well, all I think it comes down to is the fucking 1% that don't like actually account for anybody getting too much media time. You know, like they just screech and screech and screech and like try and convince everyone that there's a problem that isn't there.
Mm.
Well, because I
Yeah,
mean,
but it's
you
the
know,
media as well. Like
yeah,
the media
that's what
portrays
I'm
it like
saying.
that.
You know, like the media fucking loves this shit. It likes kowtowing to like these oppressed groups, so to speak. You know, but I mean, how oppressed can you be when even a fat, disgusting walrus of a woman can become a successful cam model? You know,
Have
I
you
mean,
got an example?
oh yeah, for sure, for sure, definitely. I mean,
What?
you go
So
to
this
any
person is like massive
yeah, go
in
to any
fan
site,
base
go to
and
go to any live cam site like Chatterbait or anything
oh, I
like
thought you were
that.
talking about like Twitch.
Oh no, I'm talking about like a legit like porn cams now.
Oh right, okay.
You know what I mean? Like I've seen like fucking Moby Dick clean up like $200-300 in like tipping donations in like
What?
15 minutes,
Well,
and it's like
maybe some guys like that, obviously.
that's what I'm saying. like the market is out there, but there's no market for like Danny DeVito to go like jerk his cock and get
Yeah,
women.
but you
to
go back like 50 years or something. Not, but you may not even have to go back that far. But like
Yeah.
women of large proportion
Mhm.
were quite popular. Like that was
Oh well, yes,
some
I agree.
guys.
Curvy women with a bit of like meat to their bit of gristle to their bone.
Mm.
But this shit that gets called curvy these days, like rolls upon rolls, fucking. I think some of these women have gotten a bit confused between
So,
like
so I, agree-
healthy curvy.
I'd admit that some of them have natural curves,
Hmm.
what and whatnot. But there
Yeah,
are
yeah,
some women that say they've got natural curves, but they're just fat.
but they're just a blimp,
And
I mean,
it's not healthy. I mean,
no.
and they hear this part of the podcast. They'll be like, "Oh, it's up to me whether it's fucking healthy or not." Well, no, I can look at you and I can say whether you're healthy or not.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like what the
Well,
fuck,
how do
man?
you know
Like
what I
that's.
eat? How do you know what my lifestyle's like?
That's what I don't get, like a fat dude gets called a fat fuck and everyone laughs.
Yeah.
Some fat woman gets called a walrus and it's like, oh no, she's fucking beautiful. Blah blah blah
Well,
blah
there
blah.
was an
Well,
article on like I was flicking through Facebook today,
mm,
and Lad Bible came up, and
Yeah.
one of the stories was about some show, like some reality TV show, where this chick bagged out this guy with a bald head, but then he said something
Okay.
about her being fat or something, and then
Yeah.
like fucking. I'll just see if I can pull up the article. But this is the thing, like it's all right for
Yeah,
chicks to
it's a
bag out bald guys.
massive fucking double standard. Massive double
Yeah.
standard. I mean, like, what? A guy can't control if he goes fucking bald or not. This pig, unless she's got some kind of disease, probably actually can control whether she wants to be a quivering mass of horror or not.
Yeah.
So like that's what should be offensive. Attacking someone for something they have no control over should be offensive. That's, 'cause to me, that's like giving someone shit because they got AIDS or something.
Exactly.
Or like laughing at someone being like, oh, you're a cancer patient. I mean, I think attacking fat people is pretty important.
No,
You know?
but on the other side of it, like going back to the bald part, I mean, guys generally don't have too much that affects them in terms of like body shaming. Like some fat guys would be somewhat like that, but
Yeah.
baldness would be one of the main things because hair's like your kind of vanity or whatever. But
Yeah. No, well, definitely. I've experienced many times. Some bitch be like, "Oh,
yeah,
you'd be really
here we
cute
go.
if you had hair."
Man on guy offends girl on first dates hotel with comments about her weight. She made a remark about bald men, and the date took an awkward turn.
Yeah.
So it's all right for fucking people to go up in arms that he makes it something,
Yeah.
comment about her weight, but if it's something about his hair that he can't help, mind
Yep.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Oh, like, I mean, I've been given shit for fucking being bald. Like,
Yeah.
you know, more times than I can count on my hands. You know, like if you get into an argument with any kind of female, like that's the first thing I go for. If they say you shave your head or you got no hair, it's like, oh yeah, you know, even if you're not insulting them, that's always the type of ammo that they'll choose to use. Um, what women want is for them to be able to do and say whatever they want without the consequences of being on the other end. Like a reasonable woman doesn't want that, and like, you know, she knows that. But there are a lot of unreasonable, liberal fucking pig fuckers these days. I don't know, man. But I think it's getting to the point where people don't give a shit anymore. Like, they realize these people are, like, almost fucking mad. And a lot of people just aren't listening. Which is positive. But, I mean, it's really hard to say. I mean, what blows my fucking mind is how so many of these, like, you know, these cloud-shaped women, how are they vegans? You don't become a lard ass eating celery and carrots.
Yeah, but I think some of that vegan food has like high like carbs or something.
What I think it probably is, they're probably stuffing their face with fucking chocolate and like dairy-free ice cream.
Well, but I mean, you can still have sugar. You can still have lots of carbs.
Oh, you
don't
can.
necessarily have to,
Yeah,
it doesn't have to
yeah.
be meat or dairy products. I mean,
Yeah, it's like, I'm a vegan and I'm healthy, but I'm 400 kilos. You know, it's like, yeah, I'll enjoy your, you know, sub-30 heart attack. And you know what? Good riddance. Good riddance. It frees up a hospital bed.
it's brutal.
But, no, well...
no hold back on this podcast.
No, but, you know...
How dare you
when
fat shame women? You
When-
misogynist pig.
I mean, but, you know, the hospital sector would agree. They absolutely fucking abhor
Well, I
obese
mean,
people
there
because
have
of the
been
sheer
like,
amount of trouble.
well, there's been loads of doctors and stuff on TV, and they don't really run these stories anymore because people get offended.
Oh,
by it.
because it's offensive. Yeah, that's right. You know,
And that's something
I
else
mean,
that's
no fucking
crazy these
doctor,
days.
no fucking doctor is going to tell you you're healthy when you're obese.
I know.
You know, because that would be illegal. But you know, I mean,
Maybe not illegal, maybe malpractice.
yeah. Well, I mean, it would be. It's like, you know, it's like me having a brain hemorrhage, and you know, me not wanting anyone to say anything about it, and you know, me believing I don't have it just because the doctor says so. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of fucked up. What I've realized is fat dudes. You talk to a fat guy, he knows he's fucking fat, and he has a sense of shame about it.
Yeah,
Like, you know, he doesn't expect people
that's
to
true.
accept.
Actually,
He doesn't expect people to accept him.
Yeah.
I've never met a fat dude that was like, these people are fat shaming me. This is fucking, you know, workplace injustice. You know, he just like ignores it, and then he like goes home and tries to lose some fucking weight. So it's like, you know, like people need to just accept the reality of the human condition. When we see something that's out of shape or out of the norm or whatever, we're just gonna like, you know, respond the way our brain tells us to, which is like, I feel like the media is trying to make us change our programming, like our natural set of instincts.
Like what?
Like, you know, like we know we get repulsed by someone who's obese because our brain knows it's unhealthy. You know, our brain is like, well, you don't want to breed with that. You know, so why should I have to change? You know, what like would you fuck an obese woman and have a family with her, knowing that she's probably going to be dead at 35, and then your children have no mother? You know, I mean, that's all it comes down to. I mean,
some people might have a medical condition though, like.
Some. I've no doubt about that, but I'm under the impression that's probably pretty fucking rare, hey?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't have any statistical evidence for that.
Well, I mean, you know, I don't
get
think
some
every
comments.
single.
You two are vile.
Fracking from Diabetes and her 600-pound cake hole. Fucking a little bit of gravy dribbles out every time she speaks.
Oh, that's fucked. I think there's a stereotype there.
Oh, there's definitely a stereotype there, but you know, every stereotype has
I'm
a kernel of truth.
upstairs.
Every stereotype has a
Did
kernel
you
of
see
truth.
steak? I mean, that movie probably doesn't even get shown anymore. I don't know.
Oh, probably not. Speaking of Rob Schneider, I've heard that he's a guy that if you go in his Twitter and like actually attack his career, he's one of the only like semi-famous people that will respond back.
Really?
He gets very, very, very upset about people making fun of his movies or him or anything he's done.
Well, he's really just the guy in the Adam Sandler movies.
That's right. I mean, that is like, there was a brief period in history where, everyone knew who he was.
Juice
But
Bigelow.
Juice Bigelow, that's right. I mean, then he made all those fucking god-awful movies like, what, The Hot Chick or whatever it was called.
No, to be honest, I haven't even seen... I've seen
Oh,
all
no.
these movies. And then they started to
good.
get together with, like, Adam Sandler, like, that
Yeah.
other... Who's that other fat guy from Kings of Queens? David
Oh,
something, or...
I know the dude you're talking about. He's that one for that Paul Blart Mall Cop or whatever.
Yeah. He's not even, like, funny. Like, I haven't seen that film, but... Him
No,
and David Spade,
he's-
like... David
Yeah.
Spade was funny when he was with, like,
Oh,
Chris
back
Farley.
in the day, man.
Chris
Yeah,
Farley,
yeah,
the
dude.
fat...
Yeah,
Beverly Hills
early
Ninja.
'90s, early '90s, David Spade was great. Speaking of fat people, I remember in a scene. Do you remember that Dickie Roberts, former child star or whatever?
Which one?
Do you remember there with David Spade, Dickie Roberts, former child star?
Nah.
Oh well, anyway. Speaking of fat people, there's a part where he's being pushed in a pram, right
What?
on the sidewalk. He's being pushed in a pram like a baby on a sidewalk,
What?
and this
And
fucking
this is
obese
Chris Farley?
in this movie. Nah, David Spade.
Oh, right.
And this fucking obese woman goes to him, "Aren't you a little big for a stretcher?" And he goes, "Aren't you a little big for a sidewalk?"
That's fine.
You can't even get away with humour like that anymore.
Nah, that'd be
Yeah.
like you would not show that on TV.
No.
Or oh, that's highly
And
offensive.
you know what? And any normal person, like rational, sane, moderated person, laughs at shit like that because it's fucking funny.
Yeah.
You can't tell people what's funny and what isn't funny.
Yeah, but it's like anything. People crack jokes at anything. It's just like a wit about it as well. It's not just
Yeah.
meant to be vile all the time. It's just that.
Yeah,
quick
there's
witted
a
people-
difference when something is funny and when something's purposely like trying to be offensive, through like repeat usage.
Yeah, but
but
people would just have a comeback just like that. They're just quick witted
Yeah.
and they just roll stuff off the. If someone says something to them, it's just like bang.
yeah. I mean, I love people like that. It seems like there's a lack of them these days.
Mm.
It's I mean, what about all these feminist comedians coming out and shit? They're not fucking funny, and the fact
one?
that they can't even tell at a show. Oh man, what's the name of that fucking pig?
Amy Schumer.
There's Amy Schumer. There's another one.
I hate that bitch.
Oh, she's not funny, man.
She's
I'll
not
find
funny.
one. Sophie Hagen. She's a fucking idiot.
I don't know who that is.
Sophie Hagen. Oh, she's an absolute blimp, dude. And all she does is attack women like in a misandric way on her fucking shows, and all these like just blue-haired troll dolls start laughing and shit, and it's like, oh yeah. If a male comedian does that, like Bill Burr and shit, they get fucking thrown under the bulldozer. But at the
What's
same
her
time, fuck,
Did you say Hillary Hagen or something?
Sophie Hagen.
I don't think I know who that is.
Oh, she's
Oh wow.
you're not missing anything. She's just she's a piece of work.
She's from Denmark.
Yeah.
She's quite large.
Yeah. She got really nasty. Apparently,
That's gross.
she tried to. Apparently, she hit on a male soccer player who rejected her advances.
Apparently, she said fat stomachs are beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So if I send you this picture,
Yeah.
there's no way any guy would say that that's beautiful.
No. Of course not. Not in a million years. Maybe
He goes,
some real.
fat stomachs are beautiful, and that with that photo.
Yeah. Like
Jesus.
to me, that looks like I don't know.
Like that from
A
my
hamburger sandwich.
from my personal opinion, I don't find that attractive at all.
No rational, sane human being would find that attractive.
Yeah.
You know what the fucking kicker is, right? Fat dudes have like accepted their lot in life, and they usually go out with fat girls, right? That's fine. But these fat women, what they want is to actually be entitled to the 1% of men. The men that look after themselves.
I don't
the
know.
men that hit the
I'm
gym.
sure that there's like bigger women out there that don't think like that though.
Oh, I'm certain there are, but the ones that get the attention, like that whale, we
She's probably
assume
married or
that's
something,
the
or
majority.
happily in a relationship.
Oh, she's probably fucking married to a vibrator, I'd say. probably
All
loses
right.
16 of them a week.
All right. I think we should probably wrap it up there.
Yeah, I think
So
so.
yeah. So yeah,
Well,
we'll be coming out with some more content for whoever's listening. And if you
yeah,
do happen to like the content, make sure you like the video or subscribe or comment. And if you've got anything you want us to chat about or make some comments on the video, let us know.
yeah. All right. Well, all right. You guys have an excellent weekend.
Yep. Signing off. M&R.
Ta ta.